How goes it, everyone? I am the world famous Fat Kid, and today, Week 7 recap. We had 15 games last week, a lot of close ones, a lot of good ones, and we're trying to build off the momentum of Week 6 where we went 11-3, and I'm happy to report 12-3. A lot of good games, a lot of close games, a couple weird ones, I guess is the best way to put it. But, yeah, I'm excited. I'm happy. Let's get to it. We're going to start with the Denver Broncos and the New Orleans Saints on Thursday Night Football. And honestly, nope, we started out the week poorly again. That is 3 weeks in a row that I have gotten the Thursday Night Football game wrong. Oof. That's all I can say. Denver, 33-10. That's really all I got for that. New Orleans really missing Carr, although Carr before his injury, the first 2 weeks they had the best offense in the league. Following 2 weeks, they fell off the face of the earth almost, and then they've just been struggling since the injury. And of course I picked the Saints, so yay, that's it. Anyway, yeah, starting off poorly. But we move to the London game on Sunday. New England Patriots taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. And this was actually a good game if you're a Jags fan. Everything looked to be running smooth. Brian Thomas Jr. decided to make a name for himself. It was just a coming out party, if you will. Evan Ingram played pretty well. Tank Bigsby was just hammering that defense. Maybe it's things to come for Jacksonville. I wouldn't bet on it, but that's 2 wins in a row. Right? No. They lost to Jacksonville, or they lost to Chicago last week. That's 2 out of the last 3. 2 out of 6. 2 out of 7. Jags are bad. Next, moving on to the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Atlanta Falcons. And to me, this was a bit of a surprise. I picked Seattle, but Geno and Metcalf and Walker just worked it. Although Metcalf did go out with an injury, I couldn't even tell you when exactly. I just saw across the ticker. Atlanta came out flat, 34-14. Not looking good for them, but Atlanta's still, I believe, leading the division because of Monday night's game. So, who knows? We'll see what's going on with that. Anyway, I got that right. I figured Seattle was going to be too much, and I thought it was going to be a closer game. I'll take it. 20 points is 20 points. I'll allow it. Next, Tennessee Titans taking on the Buffalo Bills, and this was weird early because Buffalo just could not get any separation. It was a 1-score game going into halftime and for a good chunk of the third quarter, and then Buffalo just decided we're done toying around, and they won 34-10. Well, I picked Buffalo thinking Tennessee's offense would not be able to keep up. There we go. Then Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Cleveland Browns, AFC North. I mean, Cincinnati had to win to keep their playoff hopes alive. And again, this was a weird game because I thought Cincy was going to walk away with it. But 21-14 is not walking away with it. It was close all the way up until the end. Chubb came back. He played all right. But, I mean, first game in quite some time. And, Cleveland gets what they deserve, in my opinion. they're now going to have to search for a quarterback because he who shall not be mentioned went out with an injury, and the fans cheered. If I were there, I would have too. Anyway, since he won 21-14. Then we moved to, I believe I was right by saying this was a game to watch. Probably going to be one of the best games of the week. Houston Texans taking on the Green Bay Packers. And wow, Houston ineffectual offensively, but the defense held for a lot of the game. They gave up big plays and they gave up 24 points, but they were in position to win the game. Houston offensively just could not get anything going, and they still scored 22 points. So Green Bay won 24-22. I picked Houston, but it was a hell of a game to watch. And the Packers had to rely on a last-second field goal by their new kicker, who was sitting on his couch, Brandon McManus, until this week. So really kind of crazy storyline there. And it was just a fun back-and-forth game there near the end, although Houston struggled. I'm not worried about them. Both teams 5-2. I'm not worried about them. Houston will be fine. Then we step over to the Miami Dolphins and the Indianapolis Colts, which 10-16, Indy won. Couldn't tell you much about the game. I barely followed it. I mean, it again, Miami was leading early. Okay, this is as much as I can tell you. Miami was leading early. Indy took the lead, I believe, third quarter. And then Miami got like 2 or 3 different chances to try to take the lead or tie. They missed a field goal, I believe. That would have tied it at 13. Indy on the ensuing drive kicked another one. And then Miami needed a touchdown or bust. And, well, they busted. I don't like that. Anyway, Anthony Richardson came back. He played all right. I honestly think they should have Flacco starting. He gives them a higher powered offense, but that's my opinion. Anthony Richardson will be good. He just needs time to develop, and I guess the best way to develop, put him in the game. Whatever. Anyway, got the Colts right. We're rolling. Then we move on to the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. The other game that I said was going to be the game of the week, and I think I went 2 for 2 this week because the Detroit and Minnesota game was back and forth. It was close damn near the entire time. Minnesota took the lead. Detroit field goal late. Minnesota had a chance with a late possession but could not get into field goal range. I mean, it was a back and forth physical NFC North matchup, and it was great. Let's see here. They didn't miss the field goal, did they? Nope. Yeah, Minnesota got 10 straight points. They were, what was it, 28-19? No, that's not right. Is it? Really? I didn't realize that. Detroit took a commanding lead, and then Minnesota roared back to lose. To lose late. That sucks. I even watched that game and I didn't realize that Detroit had jumped out to such a big lead. I guess I was drifting between Houston and Green Bay and Detroit and Minnesota and just kind of didn't pay attention until the end. Anyway, I got that right. Detroit wins. Minnesota will be fine. 5-1. Oh no, I would love to be 5-1 right now. Then, NFC East, Philadelphia Eagles taking on the New Jersey Giants, and Yeah, 28-3. They walked all over them. Big game out of Barkley. Apparently had a chance to set a new career high with rushing yards. He was only 13 yards away, and he decided to stay on the bench and let the other guys run wild. That's kind of crazy, but especially against your former team. But hey, respect Barkley. Then, moving on to the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Los Angeles Rams, and 20-15 Rams win. I picked them because I'm not picking the Raiders anymore this year. All I can say is the defense did their job. The only reason the Rams scored 20 points is because of 3 turnovers. If that scoop and score had not happened, 15-13. I know that could change the flow of the game and blah, 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 blah. I get it. Fine. But, yay. Sadness. Then we move on to the Carolina Panthers taking on the Washington Commanders, and Washington with a big 40-7 win, but Jaden Daniels did get rocked, and he went out of the game. I believe the early news was it's not as serious as initially feared. I don't remember what the injury was, but I guess his mom was on Twitter posting about, he's in high spirits and he's okay. He definitely will miss week 8, I believe is what I read. But yeah, I would love to see Jaden Daniels come back from this and pick up where he left off and not have any lingering effects, because it was really fun to watch him. Anyway, figured Washington would win. They got it. Next, Kansas City Chiefs taking on the San Francisco 49ers, Super Bowl rematch, and the Chiefs cheat. The Kansas City cheats. Whatever. No, 28-18 Chiefs win. I picked them. San Francisco's just not right. And they lost, Ayuk? And Debo also got banged up. I think San Francisco, unless McCaffrey comes back within the next week or two, I think San Francisco's dead in the water. Kansas City, no touchdown passes, 2 interceptions by Mahomes, and yet they still won 28-18. Somebody has to take advantage of the Chiefs struggling offensively, but nobody can because their defense, I believe, is number 1 in the league. Again. Blah. That's how I feel about that. Only undefeated team. I have to mention that contractually. I don't have a contract. Next, we move on to the Sunday Night Football game. The New Jersey Jets taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Jets with their new wide receiver, the brand new shiny wide receiver, Davante Adams, reuniting with Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, 3 catches, 30 yards, big tackle on an interception. That's cool. Yeah, how's Jersey doing for you? Granted, you played in Pittsburgh, and I'm sure everybody's seen it. Oh, Adams lost to the Steelers, got traded to the Jets, and then lost to the Steelers all in the span of a week. Whatever. Davante Adams quit on the Raiders, and I think it's a little bit of karma. He'll get his yards, he'll get his catches, he'll get his touchdowns, but that was good to see for at least one game. Yeah, 37-15, Pittsburgh won, dominated. Russell Wilson looked a little shaky and then fell into a pretty good rhythm. I still think Russ was a bad idea. One game does not prove me wrong. We'll see how it shakes out for the rest of the year, but big win for the Steelers. Then, Monday night, Baltimore Ravens taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the Bucs fell in a hole pretty quick due to turnovers, and they just could not keep up with the Ravens because of those turnovers. Ravens won 41-31. Henry played well. The defense for the Ravens stepped up when they needed to. I believe it was Humphreys got 2 interceptions, and then he also left the game. I didn't see any kind of an update on his injury, which could suck going forward for the Ravens. Who knows? But Tampa Bay also lost Godwin for the year. A lot of injuries this week, it seems. But I think Tampa Bay is okay, although they're going to have a big divisional game against Atlanta coming up, which they've already lost to. I think Tampa Bay will be okay. Baltimore has found their offense, which we already knew their offense was run first to set up the pass. And Mark Andrews is actually making appearances now too. So yeah, good for him. Took him a while. Then the nightcap of the Monday Night Football doubleheader, even though they were started by like 10 minutes or so, whatever. Los Angeles Chargers taking on the Arizona Cardinals, and, well, I got this wrong. I initially had Arizona. I believe I even mentioned it. I had Arizona. I said, no, Chargers have been playing pretty well. Good run game. I'm going to take the Chargers. Well, I should have stuck with my initial pick because Cardinals won 17-15. I started and ended the week with a loss. I guess we're just going to sandwich that in there. Yeah. Ugly game. Really bad. Both teams not very good. Although the Chargers, I believe, are... Hopefully this will tell me so I don't have to dig and count and blah, blah, blah. 3-3? Yeah, I still don't think they're a very good team. Whatever. Yeah, they had the lead late. They went up. It was 14-12. Kicked a field goal, took the lead, and then just let Arizona march down the field and bleed the rest of the clock to kick a field goal with essentially no time remaining. And yeah. That's all I got. Anyway, there we go. 13-3, 12-3. There we go. 13-3. We're making stuff up now. Maybe that's next. No. 12-3. I'm happy about it. That's 23-6 in the last 2 weeks. We're on the right path. We're almost at the halfway point. My hopes have been dashed for my own team, but I'm at least having fun with this. So, thank you for watching, and until my next video, I hope you have a good one. I hope to see you there. Later.